It's your boy DJ Akademiks, and I'm here to bring you the Creep Life podcast. Yep, you guys have been hitting up late night creep, and from everything I've seen and from what I've heard, seems like you guys really want me to give you a podcast. So, here it is, and I do plan to continue this on a regular basis, pending your support. So, if you guys are listening, I want to make sure you guys are commenting, liking, and sharing this. We're going to be pretty much talking about anything within the hip-hop culture, but that doesn't exclude sports or anything that's also being talked about by, and I'll just sum it up as Black Twitter. So that's pretty much our audience right there, and that's pretty much the audience of people that usually checks out the stuff that I do. So I'm catering directly towards you, and hopefully we build a nice connection over here. So first things first, we got a couple things that's been going on in hip-hop lately. And also in urban media, we got Drake album dropped. That's been, I feel like, just flooding social media. I've talked about this on other blogs, but we'll touch on it. His album sales came back. Also, Drake versus Kendrick. It's also been beaten to death. But we'll rehash it a little bit. We had some new developments that went on. We'll get into the BET Awards, or the BET Hip Hop Awards, that went on. I'll give you the lowdown of what allegedly went on or what didn't go on. Is it worth watching? It's due to air next month, or actually this month, October 15th. So I'll give you the rundown of what allegedly went on in the show. Also, Kanye West. All things Kanye West, right? We got to talk about the Kanye West Zane Lowe interview. Kanye West also had two, not one, but two run-ins with the paparazzi. We're going to analyze it. We're going to see what's going on with Kanye. And we're going to figure out, how do we fix Kanye? Also, I'm going to finally address my severe disdain and dislike for the rapper I term as Struggle T. You may know him as Pusha T, but I term him as Struggle T. Also, looks like Mayweather got his heart broken by some groupie or a side chick, or allegedly his new girlfriend, because I guess he kicked Miss Jackson, who was his longtime famed girlfriend, to the curb, like a champion does. And he got with one of his money team girls. Her name is Princess, but we had 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, ousting this hoe on Instagram. Allegedly, she had sex with Ray J. And how fitting is this? Ray J, the guy who is on a milk carton for the money team. We haven't seen him walk out Floyd to any fights lately. We haven't seen him playing piano in any behind the scenes or 24 hours or all access, whatever they got going on nowadays. The pre-fight looking on Floyd's life. Maybe this is why Floyd's girl is getting piped down by Ray Weather Jr. But look at Ray J's face. We all know that should have happened. But we're going to get into it just a little bit more. But we're going to start off with this Drake album sales that came back. So Drake album sales came back. Looks like he did. And this is from Hits Daily Double. So it's a pretty credible source in what album sales are. It's not SoundScan, so the official numbers are Nielsen SoundScan. Those usually come out Wednesday. But everyone usually grabs a hold of the Hits Daily Double list that comes out the day before to get a good prediction on what an album did for a week. So, for example, and it's usually pretty correct. It's never like off by like 10% or so. It's probably off by like 3 or 4%, or even the max I've seen it off by is like 6 or 7, which is still relatively low. So it has Drake, Nothing Was the Same, coming in first week with 658,000 records sold. So 658,000 albums sold by Drake. I don't know how to feel about that. As you guys may know, I'm a huge Drake stan. I'm objective about everything else in this culture, but when it comes to Drake, the light-skinned Keith Sweat at that, I lose all objectivity, but at least I admit it, right? So, I don't really know how to feel about that. I know he may not be as happy with it as he would want. This is his third studio album. And it felt like this was really his time to deliver his thriller moment. This should have been maybe his best chance to get 1 million copies sold. And it felt like the buzz pre this album was the closest to, and I'm going to compare it to, but not equate it to, the Lil Wayne 08 going up to Carter 3 era, which that's just iconic. But that's what we felt. He obviously didn't hit 1 million, 658. That's a little bit lower than what he did last time with Take Care. So I don't know what to really think about that. What you guys think about Drake not exceeding his last album with Nothing Was the Same? I personally think this album is pretty good. I can't call it classic. I can't really make too big of a determination on the album, and I don't want nobody in the comments or hitting me on Twitter, anywhere else, telling me anything about this album, saying it's classic or, oh, this is just the wackest shit ever. Give it 6 months. So I'm not going to have a review about Nothing Was the Same anytime soon. It's coming, but let me have a time to really sit through. I've been listening to the album constantly. Obviously, light skinned nigga season is in effect. Also, real quick side note, iHeart Radio Festival went down a couple weekends ago. Drake and Chris Brown made up. So the beef between these light skinned niggas is over. So the light skinned coalition is doing pretty well, if you ask me. Drake, J. Cole, and obviously Chris Brown. However, it seems like our dark-skinned counterparts have been leering in the water and just ready for our downfall. Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has thrown some more words at Drake, this time at the BET Hip Hop Awards. So Drake has been on his promo tour. He's dismissed almost everything about the Control verse, saying it's not that relevant to this day. He's saying it was a good time in Twitter. It was a Twitter trending topic for like a week. Then it went away. That's true, somewhat, but also I think it did have a bigger cultural impact than Drake's given it credit for. Drake is maybe a little bit salty. He is light-skinned. We get it. However, Kendrick, allegedly, because the video isn't out yet, as I said, BET Hip Hop Awards will be airing October 15th, and my TV doesn't even carry BET, so I think my provider is a little racist because I live like in a white neighborhood. I don't have BET on my TV, so I'll be watching online somewhere. Anyways, it seems that Kendrick Lamar doing a cypher, some type of rapping type of shit they had going on in BET Hip Hop Awards. He spit like a 50-bar verse going in, and I'm not sure if he said any names, but is allegedly being dubbed as Control Part 2. Apparently there's a lot of lines going at Drake, and the beef, well, I won't call it a beef, but the war of words or the lyrical sparring between them seems like it's going to continue. Me, I'm completely over it. We have two niggas, obviously too bitch made to really call each other's names or really go at each other aggressively. Like, hey, listen, I want to rap battle against you. They'll be like, oh, we're all friends. Just step your bars up. And the other one's like, oh, I might not get on your next album. So both of these niggas are a little bit bitch made. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine Nas and Jay were doing that in, like, whenever they were beefing. So I would prefer it was more straightforward. However, I kind of understand it. That's a climate we live in. That just creates excitement without hurting people's paper. Like, nobody wants to get money taken out of their pocket, but everyone wants something to tweet about. Cool. However, I'm completely over it. Until I hear Kendrick address Drake in a negative manner and Drake respond, I have nothing more to say about it. Moving on. Struggle T. And I know you guys are wondering, who's Struggle T? Why does he keep mentioning someone named Struggle T? If you follow me on Twitter, that's how I call or I refer to the person known as Pusha T. And I've had a lot of backlash from all his fans, like, why is he Struggle T? Like, he's dope. Pusha T. And I refer to him as Pusha T from here on out in this podcast. But Pusha T is a dope lyricist. I respect his lyricism, and I do like a bunch of his songs. He's just that nigga that I don't like for no reason. And if you don't have someone you don't like for no reason without knowing them, you're lying. There's something about his face I don't like. There's something about when he talks I don't like. He also made comments about how he didn't like material by Lil Wayne. And I'm not a Lil Wayne fanatic or super stan by any stretch of the imagination. But the thing is, me was very hypocritical because when he's pointing the finger at Lil Wayne saying, hey, your music's garbage, or Dedication 5 was garbage, he should have pointed it right at Kanye and said, Kanye, Yeezus was a piece of trash, man. But of course, with his self-serving agenda, like, he's only going to point at Lil Wayne. Plus, those dirty micro braids just piss me off. You got to cut them shits, man. Like, you're the only person still rocking the micro braids. I give A$AP Rocky a pass. Actually, I don't. I think that's why he's wearing those skirts, those kilts. All in all, I mean, I have a couple of reasons why I really don't like Struggle T, aka Pusha T, but I really just don't like him. You get a vibe from certain people without even meeting them, without ever talking to them, just by looking at him and you're like, I don't like that nigga. And that's just the vibe I get from Struggle T. I don't know, I'm hoping that'll change. If he does have hot songs, I'll listen to him. And I definitely won't be biased towards his music, because I'm usually objective when it comes to grading music. But we'll see. We will see. However, let's get back into the BET Hip Hop Awards. So the BET Hip Hop Awards was actually taped this weekend. It was taped this weekend, and surprisingly, there were no casualties. The most surprising thing of the night, the headline story of the BET Hip Hop Award weekend being taped, is that there were no significant casualties. Nobody got hit in the head with a bottle. Nobody got pounded out. Nobody got the beats laid to them. Nothing. Apparently, it was like more ATF, DEA, FBI, CIA. I mean, it looks like Gucci Mane got locked up at the right time. Gucci Mane is in prison. He's not really looking to follow through with some of those tweets. And miss me on that lean shit. Gucci Mane said he was on lean when he sent those tweets out. Gucci Mane, you're a grown man, bro. The worst thing I could see these niggas doing on Twitter now is lying. Oh, my Twitter got hacked. Your Twitter's not getting hacked. Nobody's hacking your Twitter to say they ran a train on Nicki Minaj. I mean, that does sound like a crazy thing, but nobody's hacking your Twitter to say you're gonna beat the shit out of Rocco. Nobody's hacking your Twitter to really misspell all those words. That takes either some serious effort or you're seriously retarded. So, I don't believe Gucci Mane. Also, Gucci Mane tweeting in prison with correct pronunciation, correct spelling, also bullshit. Gucci Mane couldn't even write in the studio right. He thought in was I and N with a space between both of them. There's no way you go from not being able to properly punctuate your sentences to spelling I'm currently incarcerated right now correctly. No. Either that or you found the autocorrect button. Anyways. Gucci Mane is going to be sentenced to 6 months, so he should be out in March. And he got arrested for making threats at somebody and also carrying a concealed weapon. He was found to be in violation of his parole, so he's serving 6 months. So he should be out in March. And we won't have any guwap on the season, guwap on the streets for cuffing season. So it looks like all the melanin deprived dudes like Drake, they're safe. However, the rest of the BET Hip Hop Awards look like it went fine. Apparently, only 2 awards got handed out at the actual award show, and everything was usually like beforehand, or I don't know if they have like a pre-stage, but apparently only like 2 awards were really given out. There was no one there. The people that were winning weren't there. Drake wasn't there. A$AP Rocky wasn't there. So, I really don't know. But of everyone that wasn't there, guess who was there? The niglet we love to hate right now. Or we hate to love right now. Miley Cyrus. Of course, she would find herself at her nigga fest, like the BT Hip Hop Awards. Apparently, she was gallivanting around with Juicy J and the rest of like the Ratchet rapper crew. And a story came out of that saying she was pregnant by Juicy J. Imagine that. Miley Cyrus, once America's sweetheart, America's baby, now pregnant by a nigga named Juicy J? Jesus Christ. The only thing better than that would be... Well, actually, I'm hoping this is actually true. Well, I'm hoping if she does get pregnant, it's by a nigga like Chief Keef. I want Chief Keef to ejaculate in Miley Cyrus. Inject some of that venom of ignorance and stupidity in her. But yeah. So apparently that story came out. She said she's not pregnant. I don't know. It looked like some dumb blog probably took that, ran with it. It was clear that Miley Cyrus was not going to be pregnant by Juicy J. If anyone she's going to be pregnant by right now, it's going to be Mike Will Made It. He damn near produced every song on her album. Her album leak is out. You guys can check it out if you want to. But if she's going to be pregnant by anyone, she's going to be pregnant by Michael Made It. He's giving her bangers. Michael Made It is like Dream, and Miley Cyrus is like Christina Milian. However, the only difference is that Miley Cyrus is worth $120 million. However, it looks like she's really into this black culture. She'll learn when she really mess with a real nigga who gets just a little bit too real for her. Because everybody knows a white girl who loves the black culture will continue to love it until it gets too real for her. Once it gets too real, she's gonna run back to comfort. Like she might have one of those moments where she's like, she might just drop the N-word. It's those niggers. So we'll find out. But right now it's still entertaining. However, the last story here I gotta cover is 50 Cent ousting some Instagram model, or I'm going to call her Instagram model because she got a bunch of likes. But apparently she was with the Money Team, and she was Floyd's new girlfriend. But apparently she was cheating on Floyd with who? Of course, the slime ball, the scumbag, Mayweather Jr. You could look at Ray J's face and you could tell it. That's some type of dude that would definitely smash your girl when you leave the room. I wouldn't leave my girl around Mayweather Jr. But obviously Floyd did, and she was banging both of them. Her Instagram name is Princess something. She's referred to as Princess. I don't know if she has a real name, whatever it is. But she has like a Money Team like shirt on and a couple of pictures that 50 posted up. She has then removed. Floyd also posted up a statement say, hey, stuff like this happens. He didn't really confirm it verbatim, but he's like, things happen when you take someone from being broke. And if they're really garbage, you'll find out later. And blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if he sounds really hurt, because I'm guessing he probably has another 30 girls that's ready to jump in that spot. So he might not be hurt, but good move on 50 Cent's part. It looks like he's definitely doing his thing with this whole 40 laws of power, 50 laws of power nonsense, because him and Floyd are beefing. They apparently came to some type of truce or agreement. Then he jumps in saying, yo, F this girl who cheated on my mans, Floyd. That's Floyd's business. If Floyd really wants to put this girl out there, let him do it. The fact that you're doing it shows that you want to earn some type of trust from him. It's really like a soldier move. If I'm dealing with a girl and she does something crazy, or if I'm dealing with someone in general and they do something crazy, somebody who's one of my soldiers, they're going to jump up and try to make an example out of them to show me how loyal they are to me. So that could be 50 Cent trying to work his way back into the Money Team's central circle, which I think is over for that. I think Floyd, he's just doing his own thing. And plus, he sees right through 50 Cent. 50 Cent's trying to get into his boxing promotion thing. So we'll see what happens. Ray J, somebody get my man off the milk carton. It looks like the only person that could get an interview with Ray J nowadays is TMZ. Last time we heard from him, he was telling us he hit it first. He might be telling my man Floyd Mayweather he hit it last. So it's crazy. Anyways, the story I did miss was Kanye West. So Kanye West had an interview with Zane Lowe, and he was talking a lot of nonsense. I mean, I won't say a lot of nonsense. He was actually a pretty good interview sprinkled with nonsense. So he was talking some real good shit. At least I got some good shit from it, but it was sprinkled with nonsense, as Kanye West is known to give. He was talking all this shit about leather jogging pants, all this designer shit. Excuse me, I'm not into all this fashion shit. I'm a fan of Kanye West, the musician. So when he comes on this whole fashion wave, I can't feel him. You know what I mean? When he comes on didn't racism still exist, or they don't want to give me a chance in fashion? And I'm like, shut up. If that was music, I would be riding with you, because I'm like, you know what? I like your music, but I've never purchased anything from you in fashion. I could care less. However, he did have some very good points in there. And he was talking about the Yeezus album. And I have to touch on this just to be really transparent, because I call that album garbage. And he was saying he knew that some people weren't going to like it. He said that he knew also there was going to be a separate group of people that wouldn't even give it a chance to really say they didn't like it, but they would jump on the general perception just by how it started off with like On Sight. So he's like, I could have had On Sight be like a title, the first track, or like Blood on the Leaves. He's like, everyone would like Blood on the Leaves, and would like On Sight. That's true. But still, all in all, the album is garbage. So I hear what Kanye West is saying. There are people, and people listening right now, that are hype beasts. And let me explain this term real quick, which means most of you guys will not even listen to an album before you make your minds up about it. You guys will see an album leak floating on Twitter, everyone's talking about it, or mixtape. Oh, Meek Mill's Dream Chasers 3 came out. Before you go and listen to the whole thing a couple of times, maybe take it in the car, really ride around, listen to it, you see other people talking about, yo, this is the hottest shit ever. Oh my God, Meek snapped. He snapped. You're now retweeting it. You're now saying it. Oh my God, Meek snapped. You really didn't even hear the song. So people are hype beasts. So you know what I mean? It's your first impression is very big, because that could be the one that runs and lasts. So the people who were saying Meek snapped, now even if they did listen to it later and they're like, okay, it was just okay. I was hyping it up a little bit too much. Can't really go back on your word because you look stupid. So you just gotta either say nothing or just keep running with the same nonsense you were been saying. But that's how it is. However, he did touch on some good points that I was impressed about him. He touched on some essence of The Mastery. If you guys don't know, The Mastery is a book. He said he put in like his 10,000 hours, which I believe in the essence of you need 10,000 hours to master really any skill. So he said he put in 10,000 hours into his fashion endeavors, or I don't know exactly what he's doing, but 10,000 hours into that, and that's why he's earned the right. I agree with him. He may have mastered that, but he hasn't earned the credibility, and I think that's what he doesn't get. You need to earn credibility for people to give you a pass. The reason why you could drop an album like Yeezus is because you have the credibility. Not only have you mastered music, you have the credibility to try something new. You've mastered hip-hop. But when you go to Def Jam, your credibility of constantly providing good music is already there. So when you tell them you want to put out a project like Yeezus that sounds like some crazy like Star Wars video game at times, they'll be like, you know what? We don't know, but we trust this guy's credibility. When you go into the fashion world, and excuse me about the fashion world because I'm not that in tune with it, you really don't have that much credibility when some of these people have been working all their lives and put their lives into it. Yeah, I know. The Yeezys over 90,000 on eBay. Cool. That's not enough credibility, I'm guessing. You need some more credibility. Keep at it. Stop bitching. Other thing that he also discussed the theory of 5%er. And if you guys don't know, it's a theory, or not really a theory, it's really kind of a religion also. He basically said that there are really 5% of people who really think independently and really are going about making their own way in the world. It follows up with the 5% teachings, which I am somewhat familiar with, and about 85% of people just go with whatever is popular. Most of those people are hype beasts or whatever. They just go with whatever is fed to them. And 10% are the people that are feeding to that 85%. So that 5% is really unique. You guys may not get what I just said, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I may do a whole video on explaining how I interpret that whole system, but you guys can look it up. It's pretty simple. Also, if you guys didn't see, Kanye West also had another damn run-in with the paparazzi. Not one, because that would be just way too normal at this point. Had two. So Kanye West allegedly, he was at his home, and I'm not sure where his home was because the video didn't really say, but the paparazzi was somewhere filming him at 4 a.m. He approaches them and he's like, they say something to him like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he tells him, "Yo, I'm really annoyed that you're filming me at 4 a.m. at my home." He eventually kind of makes a gesture towards him, like he's going to pounce on him. The typical Kanye West, like, "I'm angry." And then he hops in his Lamborghini and just, like, speeds off. But he was very upset, and he was like, "I'm going to change this." And apparently now he's filing charges on the person who was filming him, or the people who were filming him, because they were allegedly on his property, and that's then known as technically criminal trespassing. If he tells them, "You guys need to leave my property," and they don't leave, it's now technically criminal trespassing. So we'll see how that goes. We know there's a suit against him already that was pressed by the photographer at LAX that he jumped on and tried to strangle to get the camera away from him, which he didn't get, but the guy acted like he was hurt. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see if he does press charge on this guy that trespassed on his property. However, he did go to Paris, and of course, it makes sense he's in Paris, right? His album's out. Nobody's really liking it that much. He thinks he's a big-time fashion designer, so let's go to Paris. And he gets there, hops out of a car. We see a video, and it's a paparazzi again. So I'm expecting him to start yelling, start shouting and trying to grab a camera, or just charge at this guy and just really like choke slam him, or like, I don't know, like give this guy the crippler crossface or some shit like that. Like the typical Kanye West shagries. However, he didn't do any of that. He actually approached the paparazzi and he said, "Hey, don't talk, but I want to tell you that I actually appreciate how you guys are. You guys have more respect than the people in America. And I really like how you guys do it. You guys are respectable. Shake my hand." And he shakes the guy's hand. And then he stands there waiting for a door to open with like a security or a doorman. And a lady walks up and she's kind of looking at him kind of funny because there's a lot of cameras around him. He's just standing there. And I guess she asks like, "Yo, who is he?" The guy looks at Kanye and says, "Can I tell her who you are? Is that cool?" And Kanye West almost looks embarrassed, and he looks at her, and then he shakes her hand saying, "I'm Kanye," and walks in the door. Hilarious, but that's a day in the life of Kanye West. I don't know what's his real thing with the paparazzi. Also, during that Zane Lowe interview, he said that the paparazzi was sent here by them to distract him. Listen, Kanye West might be off that same crack Lamar Odom's in. Lamar Odom and Kanye might be sharing that same crack. But all in all, I got to salute Kanye West because I did enjoy his interview. He's still up to his bullshit. I'm not feeling Yeezus, but that doesn't mean I don't like Kanye West. So, I want you guys to comment, subscribe. This is about half an hour. We're going to see if we could adjust this a little bit more next time. Maybe do a little bit less with a little bit more topics. You guys tell me what you want to hear. I'm trying to do this for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Respect each and every one of you that take the time to listen. And especially if you listen up to this point, which is the end, make sure you hit the comment button, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you have any social media, hit the share button. Let's try to build one love. It's DJ Akademiks, and I ain't shit.